Howdy everybody, this is Omar, your audio amigo, here today with another buyer's guide for you. This will be part 1 of my 1111 price guide series. This time we're going to be focusing on IEMs with an MSRP of $25 or under. This is not a top 5 list, this is not a ranking list, this is just stuff that I personally think is worth picking up on the upcoming 1111 sales and what prices I think are a good deal. Before we get started, let's talk about how I'm going to structure this video. I've got 6 different categories, 6 different tuning styles, each one having at least 2 IEMs in it. I'll go over each one briefly, break down 3 different prices for you. We've got the MSRP, or regular price, my good deal price, which is a price I think would be a good deal, and I think is worth picking up, and my blind buy price, which is I think about as cheap as it's ever going to get, and it would make an amazing blind buy. Please note these prices are subjective to me and based on sale prices that are here in my country, and based on things I've seen in the past couple of months as far as pricing goes. This video has the potential to get quite long, so I will mark the different tunings and IEMs with timestamps so you can skip to what you're interested in. Your time is very valuable. So with that out of the way, let's get things started. Let's go ahead and kick things off with what I'm going to call the neutral-ish category. Now, neutral will mean different things to different people, so I'm going to group together what I personally consider to be the neutral-ish options at this price range. Most of these are still slightly V-shaped, but I find them to be, like I said, the most neutral options at this price range. All 3 feature slightly boosted sub-bass, slightly elevated mid-bass, clean mids, and a slightly bright tilt. Go ahead and get started with the Simgot EW100P Shark. I'll have a little bar here with some vital information for you and some pricing. The cheapest way to get into the Simgot experience. Like I said, these are neutral-ish, slightly V-shaped. The MSRP on these is $20. My good deal price is going to be $14, as that's the price it hit during the summer sales this past June. So if it's at least that, I'd say go ahead and pick it up. If you can snag this for under $10, however, that would be my blind buy price, basically anything under $10. The EW100P here is the brightest of the 3 IEMs we're going to be looking at. It also has one of the nicest cables in the price range, and it's extremely lightweight, so it's great for like an everyday carry or beater IEM. It's a great little set. It gets my recommendation. Go ahead and check it out. If, however, you want something even lighter in terms of weight with a bit more sub-bass rumble and slightly more forward vocals, check out the Truthear Gate. The MSRP on these is $19. I did see these as low as $15 during the summer sale, so I'll go ahead and set my good deal price at $15. Like with the EW100P, my blind buy for this is going to be anything under $10. The Gate has the best cable in the price bracket, easily. It also comes with a carry pouch, which is something the others don't have. This overall is a great IEM starter set. This is my brother's daily driver. It gets my recommendation easily. I've also seen people pick these up just for the cable, and I might do that for the white version because that white cable will go great with some of the IEMs I have. Lastly, if you want something with a bit warmer sound and a tad more mid-bass, check out the Tangzu Wan'Er Studio Edition. MSRP on these is $21, and the lowest I've seen them is $17. These are relatively new, so I'll go ahead and say $17 will be my sale price. Like the other 2, I'd say if you can find these for under $10, I would consider them a blind buy. This does have what is, in my opinion, the worst cable of the 3, but it also has those memory ear hooks that you can bend to fit you perfectly. Mrs. Audio Amigo actually wishes more companies would put these on things. It also comes with that really nice cleaning cloth and the gorgeous, as always, Tangzu box art. Of the 3, I personally prefer the Gate. It has the most complete accessories package, and I think it makes just a great starter IEM for someone. If it gets to my blind buy price, as I said, I'll be picking one up just for the white cable. The other 2 are still solid, but I personally feel like the Wan'Er Studio Edition is just a bit behind the other 2 in terms of overall sound quality. But if this is the cheapest one on sale, it might be worth a shot. Next up, we have the V-shaped sets. These all have elevated sub and mid bass, as well as a boosted treble, and they all have what I feel are slightly recessed mids. They're great for people who want a more contrasty, energetic sound. So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and start off with the most budget-friendly option. KZ has several new sets with this specific tuning. I think the Saga just came out. I have no experience with it. I think it's bassier than this. But anyway, uh, the only one I've reviewed and have experience with, and the one that I would recommend, is the EDC Pro. The MSRP on this is $15, but as I mentioned in my review, it can be regularly found for as little as $8. Taking that into consideration, my personal, good deal price is going to be $8. I know many of you have found it for less than that on AliExpress, so I'm just going to go ahead and say my blind buy price is going to be $5. If you can find it for that, I think it's an absolutely amazing budget beater set. The cable is garbage, but the sound is legit, especially if it's under $10 like I expected to be on these upcoming sales, so keep an eye out for this one. The Tangzu Wan'Er, the original, has been a mainstay of the hobby for quite a long time, and honestly, for good reason. It's a solid performer, nice vocal forwardness. The MSRP on these is $19. I'm going to set my good deal price at $14, as that's what I paid for my set during the summer sale. My blind buy price is going to be $10 or less, along with like many sets at this price point. The Wan'Er isn't as bright as the other two sets in this section, but it has, like I said, a rather unique vocal forward tuning that emphasizes female vocals in a really unique way that you don't tend to see at this budget. If you don't have one of these already and you like that special sauce for female vocals, I think it's definitely worth picking up. Finally, rounding out the group, we've got the Moondrop Chu 2, MSRP $19. I honestly haven't seen these discounted too heavily. The lowest I've seen in the last couple of months is $16, so let's go ahead and set the good deal price at $15 and the blind buy price at $10, just like the rest of them. The Chu 2 comes with an included carry pouch, an all-metal build, and one of the nicest cables in this price bracket. So, like the Gate, I think it's one of the best, starter kit IEMs. If you do live in a humid area, be careful, as there are reports of corrosion on the nozzle since this is an all-metal build IEM. So, just be careful if you live in a humid area. To summarize this group, I feel like the V-shaped sets are great fun to listen to. They've got crowd-pleasing amount of bass while still maintaining good treble energy and details. My personal pick for this segment would be the Chu 2 because of the build quality, the cable, the pouch, good driver. Throw all of that into one. I think this is an absolutely fantastic package for a first-time buyer. If money is a little tighter, go for the EDC Pro. It's really fantastic. And if you have a library full of K-pop, J-pop female vocalists, the Wan'Er is an epic little set if your library is full of those genres. Moving on, we come to what I call the warm V-shaped sets. These are similar to the ones we just discussed, but on these, the bass boost is going to be more prominent than the treble boost. That will give these a slightly warmer, more relaxing tonality compared to the straight-up V-shaped sets. They also have a bit more filled-in mids, and I think are a bit better for more treble-sensitive folks. First up is the 7Hz Salnotes 02. Follow-up to the original Zero, warmer, bassier tuning compared to the original Zero. MSRP, $25. It doesn't tend to go on sale all that often. When it does go on sale, the lowest I've seen it has been around $15. That's with discounts and coins and other things. So let's go ahead and set my good deal price at $15, but don't be surprised if it doesn't hit that price. We'll go ahead and set my blind buy price at $12, since I don't think I've ever seen it cross that threshold yet. So if you can score this for under 12, I think it's an absolutely fantastic option. Okay, I know what you're all thinking. Omar, the Nuo has an MSRP of $30. What are you doing? And I get that. But without the Nuo, this section would just be the 02. And the 02 has had fitment issues for some people, so I wanted to put this here as another choice. Besides, it sort of is always on sale for $25. That being said, I've seen it drop below $19 in the past couple months, so let's set the good deal price at $18 and the blind buy price at $12, just like the 02. So, these two are the only choices for this tuning that I have any real experience with. The Nuo has a tiny bit more treble energy compared to the 02, and the 02 has a bit more sub-bass rumble. Other than that, they're extremely similar in terms of sound. The Nuo, in my opinion, has a much better cable and arguably a sturdier build, but I personally prefer the sound of the 02 compared to the Nuo. Moving on, we've got the bright tuned sets in this range. So these will both have reduced bass impact compared to what we've seen so far, but not to the point where I would feel like it's truly lacking in bass impact. Both of these will also have emphasized treble energy with excellent detail and that extra sparkle that we like. First up, we've got the Moondrop Quark 2. Now, these come with a few caveats. First of all, the cable, as you can see here, is permanently attached. So if it breaks, they're toast, you have to buy another set. Second of all, these are USB-C only, and they're incompatible with the Moondrop Link app, at least at time of recording. So you can't tweak the sound on these like you can with basically every other USB-C Moondrop product. The MSRP on these is $17, and since they're rather new and they're also Moondrop, they haven't really gone on sale all that much. My personal good deal price is going to be $10 because I honestly think the next IEM we're going to talk about is basically a better version of this. But if you can get these for like $7, $8, I think that they're a pretty excellent daily beater if you're going to hook it up to your phone at all times. Speaking of Quark 2, but better, here is the 7Hz Sound Notes Zero, the original. I have the Mecha colorway here. The MSRP on these is $20, but I've seen these for between $17 and $19 regularly, like not even on sale, just as a regular price. That said, my good deal price is going to be $14, and my blind buy price is going to be $9 or less because I got my pair here for $8 during the summer sale, and at that price, I think these are absolutely fantastic. It's also why I set the Quark's bind buy price at what it was. Summary, these two are extremely easy to separate. If you need something that you're primarily going to use on your phone, you're going to be using on the go, you prefer the bullet style of IEMs, then go for the Quark 2. In every other scenario, however, I feel like the Zero is just, like I said, a straight up better version of the Quark 2. Detachable cable, better driver, just overall better in every way. So whichever one of these you can get for cheaper, have a phone, go for that one. Otherwise, go for that one. Next up, the warm IEMs. These will have way more boosted lower mids as well as mid bass and a relaxed treble presentation to go along with it. These aren't what I would call full-on bass headsets, but they're even more relaxing to listen to than the warm V-shaped IEMs we were discussing a while ago. First up, the ND Venus, a lovely little budget IEM that is essentially a more affordable version of the next IEM I'm going to be talking about. Honestly, at its MSRP of $9, these things are already a fantastic value. My good deal price is going to be $7 because, like I said, I think at $9, I think they're already amazing. And blind buy is going to be $5 or around there. These are already a fantastic value, so just get them as cheap as you can. Use them as a daily beater. But if you're looking for a bit of an upgrade from the Venus, check out the QKZ X HBB. It's essentially a sturdier, smoother sounding, better built ND Venus at an MSRP of $20. My good deal price on these is going to be $14, as that's about as low as I've seen it get in the past few months. And my blind buy price is going to be set at $9, which would make it basically the same price as the ND Venus at MSRP. So at that price, might as well just get these. In terms of overall tuning, I already said it, these two are very, very similar. The HBB is just a little bit more refined. It's a little bit smoother in the treble and in the bass, and it's just overall better quality in my opinion. I do think the Venus actually has the nicer cable, but it's kind of a toss-up here between these two as far as sound signature goes. I do think the QKZ is worth the extra money if you're trying to pick between these two, but if this is half the price or less, I would just go ahead and get the Venus. Finally, I've got my two choices for the bass heads in the audience, and unlike the other categories where everything's sort of basically similar, these two are actually quite different. First off, we have a very V-shaped IEM. This is the KZ Castor, the bass-enhanced version specifically. When you put these switches in the up-up, down-down configuration, the mid-bass punch on this set is the real deal for bass heads. The sub-bass rumble might not live up to some people's expectations, but it's still pretty satisfying. My one word of caution with this set is that even with the switches in the up-up, down-down configuration, the treble can be quite bright. So I would be careful about using this at sort of higher, moderate, or even higher volumes. The MSRP on these is $25, but they're all over AliExpress right now between 8 and 12, and they just got replaced with the Castor Pro, so there's a massive chance for sale prices on these. I'm going to make my good deal price on these $10. Anything under than that's a good deal, and my blind buy price is going to be $6. If you can get it for less than $6, hey, it's a good little set. Next up is the KBEar Rosefinch, which is, like I said, quite a different sound to the Castor Bass. It's got a much rumblier sub bass and quite recessed upper mids. This allows you to crank up the volume a little more than you might like. The issue with these is that for some listeners, there is a little bit of peakiness in the treble that can make it a bit fatiguing at high volumes. There are simple mods that people do, adding some mesh that can fix that. But personally, I really like these. The peakiness doesn't bother me too much. MSRP is also $25, but like the Castor Bass, it's almost never that price. My good deal price on these is going to be $12, with my blind buy price sitting at $5, because I really have seen it for less than $5. Both of these prices are pretty realistic, so yeah, if you can find this for that, go for it. So between the two, personally, I prefer the Rosefinch just because while they're both very nice, the Castor Bass's sub bass is a little lacking for me, at least, like I said, compared to the Rosefinch. And while the Castor has more treble energy and comes off as the more detailed of the two, I feel that you can't quite crank the volume up as loud as you might want on the Castor before fatigue starts to set in. That said, honestly, depending on what you prefer, both of these are going to be deeply discounted, I'm assuming, especially on AliExpress for $11.11. So, yeah, if you're treble sensitive, grab the Rosefinch, maybe do the mesh mod. If you're not as treble sensitive, grab the Castor. Up, up, down, down is the configuration you're going to want. That's going to wrap up part 1 of my 1111 buyer's guide. Yeah, so all of these I think are worth looking at for 1111, especially if you're new to the hobby. Just pick the sound signature you want, pick the one you think looks or would suit you best, and use my prices as sort of a rough guide of whether or not you're actually going to get a deal or not. Those of you who want to see the top 5, IEMs in every price range videos from me, they are coming. I'm going to wait a little longer to let some stuff that's coming out towards the end of the year come in, but I will do those, I promise. I hope this video was helpful to you. I hope it gave you a better idea of what to look forward to in the next coming days with the sales. Happy shopping, have fun with it. And all of these are pretty good sets. You'll have fun with them. You'll enjoy them. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support. This has been Omar with Audio Amigo Reviews, and I'll catch y'all next time.